The very last military plane to land in Microsoft Flight Simulator in 2023. How does it fly? How does it perform on Xbox? Is the price justified? Well, that's what we are going to see here. Welcome Simmers to this brand new review of another military aircraft. So GKS offered us the F-111, a famous US bomber. The first downside for me, there are only 13 liveries, whereas we had more than 30 with the Rafale and the latest F-14. All this for 40 euros or dollars, so it's one of the most expensive military planes, and because of this we are going to be more demanding. Okay, let's have a look. As you can see, the model immediately gives a good impression. The textures are good, it's not too much pixelated when you go close, and we have seen a lot worse. Some details are really well done, and I noticed the Python, the glasses on the different lights, the attention to the tires, to the engines. We have a bit of wear and tear, and fortunately, because that's a must for an aircraft of this era. Very impressed overall with the exterior of the aircraft, and we expect nothing less given the add-ons price. Unfortunately, only the tanks are available for now. It's a bit limited in terms of payload, but a patch is planned to add weapons in January. Let's climb into the cockpit. The first thing that strikes is the plethora of gauges and buttons, switches. They are everywhere, and you think, okay, it's going to take time to get familiar with all this mess. Especially since, as mentioned in the introduction, there is no manual or complete tutorial yet. Here it's a bit the same observation as for the exterior part. Everything is well done, everything is neat, even on Xbox it's very clean. The red and white light at night have a nice rendering, so again a very good overall impression in this chapter. Let's see how it goes for the next one. And here things get complicated. Already my first reflex when I enter a cockpit is to open the canopy, and there, nothing at all. That's the first disappointment. Then, engine startup, full afterburner, that's the second disappointment. We don't have a sound that really matches an F-111, if I believe the videos available on YouTube. We have a fairly loud whistling of the engines at low speed when they do a flyby in front of the crowd, and with some hiccups at full thrust with the loud and low sound. The developer doesn't mention the arrival of a specific sound pack for the future, so it's a bit disappointing on this part. Feel free to tell me if in the comment if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert of the F-111. As for the animation, it's a nice surprise. There are many elements that benefit from an animation, like the armrest that deploy, the canopies, the bombay door, and we can observe even a little wind flex. That's pretty cool. The first downside was the sounds, the second one is the flight model. The F-111 is a 21-ton bomber when empty, and we don't expect it to have the maneuverability of an interception fighter like the F-5 or the French Mirage. Well, the problem is the flight controls are way too sensitive, with the consequence of a completely unrealistic behavior if you push it too much. Just take this example. I will push my joystick forward and backward quite strongly and see what happens. I started with the F-18 because it's the reference. It's the only official military aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. As we can see, it handles it perfectly with a very good stability. And the same for the Rafale. So you might say, yes, but these are modern aircraft. We cannot compare a plane from the 19th with the planes from the 60s. That's true. So let's see with the F-14 from Hitler. It's a bit less stable, but it remains decent. At least it seems normal. Now if we take a look at our 21-ton F-111 with 2 tanks under the wings. There. That's not good. The same if you roll, the plane goes into spirals, it makes no sense. It's almost impossible to stall. So yeah, if you use it gently in normal flight condition without doing crazy things with the stick, there is no problem. It's correct, but it's just way too sensitive. So it needs to be reviewed in my opinion. But I think I'm not the only one to have spotted this problem. Unfortunately, the systems are certainly worked on, complex, with very good ideas on some details like displaying the frequencies, the startup options, little things that makes your life easier. Unfortunately, there are still many things that don't work. The radar here, no. The radar there, no. The entire weapon system either. So yes, the plan updates, but for one of the most expensive military planes on the marketplace, it's a bit tight. Everything that is here is good, special mention to the fuel burning, but too many things are missing for the price. The rendering of the aircraft on Xbox is very convincing. I feel there has been no compromise in quality between the two versions. And we applaud GKS for making their aircraft available on the same day on PC and Xbox. During my testing session on a standard airport, but also with an add-on in California, I had no frame rate drop issues. So that's all good for me. Obviously, I am no longer testing aircraft with big add-on airports since it has become a mess with Sim Update 13 on Xbox. No matter what the aircraft is, it's just a mess. My conclusion will be like the development of the review. It's a bit mixed. There are good things, very good things, but also other elements that are much less convincing. We know that an update is planned in January that should bring more depth to certain elements, weapons on PC also, and we hope the flight model will be improved. So, if you want to invest, you have my opinion between a yes and a no. It's always good to have multiple opinions before making a decision, so go check out the videos of my colleagues, and I'll see you very soon on the channel. Have an excellent day, bye bye.